So we'll start with planning for security. Okay. In previous classes, we discussed different types of threats, as well as what is the risk management strategies. Okay. So now we'll go with planning for security. So in this, we'll discuss define management role in development of maintenance and enforcement of information security policies. What are the standards? What are the practices? What are the procedures we have? What are the guidelines to be followed by the employees of organization? Okay. And it also describe the information security blueprint here. And we want to identify what are the major components and explain the support of information security programs. So we also discuss how an organization, institution follows its policies, standards, what are the practices using the education, training, and some awareness programs to their employees here. Okay. So coming to the introduction part, first of all, creation of information security programs here begins with the creation as well as the review of an organization IS policies here. What are the information security policies? What are the standards? What are the practices here? So every organization maintains some policies, some standards, some practices for their employees. It can be reviewed, it can be organized, it can be reviewed, organized by the organization management here. And without policy, without blueprint and planning, the organization is unable to meet the information security needs here and needs of various committees of interest. The selection or creation of this information security architecture and development and use of detailed information security blueprint creates a plan for the further success here. So every organization maintains the policies, some standards, some practices, some blueprint, some planning for your organization for further success here. So some key terms are used like policies, some policy, some standards, some practices, some procedures and guidelines here. So we need some information security planning and governance. We have some different levels here, planning levels. So planning levels may contain some policies, some standards, again, some procedures and some guidelines. Okay. And planning can be done by the CISO, Chief Information Security Officer here. Information security governance, generally called as a a set of rules, set of responsibilities, and practices which are exercised by the broad and executive management, upper management, you can say. The main goal of this governance is to provide strategic direction, ensuring that the objectives are achieved. Okay, it is an emerging term used to encompass set of multidisciplinary structures, policies, procedures, and controls which are implemented to manage information at the enterprise level. That means it supports the organization from intermediate to the further regulatory, and also avoid some legal, also use some legal risk and operational requirements. There are some security policies can be managed by the and define the three types of security policies according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So first of all, the outcomes for the security governance has 5 goals. One is strategic alignment, risk management. It may be a risk management, maybe have some risk assessment. What are topics you are studying in the second unit? Okay. Resource management, performance measures, value delivery. So they need to follow some security policies. So management define 3 types of security policies according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So the committees of interest, in this we have different people: Vice President of Information Technology, President of Chief Information of Information Technology, Information Systems. Different committees of interest consider these policies as a basis for all information security efforts here. Policies direct how issues should be addressed and technologies used here. So policy should never contradict with the laws here. These security policies are least expensive controls to execute, but most difficult to implement properly here. So shaping of policy is very difficult in the organizations. So we have some definitions we are already discussed in the first unit. What is a policy? Policy is nothing but a course of action which is used by the organization to convey some instructions from the management to the employees who perform their duties. There's some policies should be maintained by the upper management, executives, champions, you can say. And these policies should be followed by the or performed by the employees of the organization here. Okay. So policies are also called as organization laws. We have some standards. Standards is nothing but a more detailed statement, you can say, which is done or compiled with the policies here. We have some practices, procedures, some guidelines which are effectively explained to the employees here and explain how to compile with the policies here and giving some guidelines to with awareness programs to the employees here. For a policy to be effective, it must be properly disseminated. What is disseminated? Disseminated is nothing but distributed among the employees here. properly read, understand, review, you can say, review the policies here, and understand comprehension, you can say, understanding the policies. Compliance, agreement, there should be some agreement to all the members of organization. Uniform enforcement should be done by the organization members. So policies generally sanctioned by the senior management, and this policy should be driven by the policy should be given by the upper management, sanctioned by the senior management, upper management, and drive by the standards are built on policy and carry some weightage for the each policy here. Some standards are maintained for the each policies here. These standards include some practices, some procedures, some guidelines, a detailed information regarding the policies here. Okay, some practices may be done for the employees. That means some awareness programs are conducted for each employee. Some projects may be distributed among the employees. Some guidelines may be given for the employees to follow these standards, to follow these policies here. So for policy to be more effective, we have they want to satisfy 5 things. One is dissemination. What is dissemination? Nothing but distribution of the policies among the employees. Distribution of the policies among the employees. So dissemination is nothing but organization must be able to demonstrate that policy has readily available for the review by the employees here. So the distribution can be done in hard copy form, hard copy. The policies can be given in a form of hard copy to the employees. Or some electronic distribution, you can say. Policies can be disseminated to the employees here, which are sanctioned by the upper management. You can give some hard copy, which can be reviewed by the employee. The policy should be readily available for the employee to read, to understand it, and distribute among the different employees here in the organization, in electronic distribution or in a hard copy form. Next one, review. So what is a review? So review is nothing but reading, you can say. Reading the policies. Organization must be able to demonstrate that what are the distributed or disseminated document is in a proper format. Whatever document you are distributing, what a hard copy you are distributing, okay, what are the policy you are distributing to the employees, it should be in a proper format and it can be understandable to the employee by the levels of different organization people, employees of the organization of the people. So organization must be able to demonstrate the disseminated document in a proper format that is understood by all the levels of employees of the organization. If the upper management creates some policies, the policy should be reviewed by the employees. The policy should be in a proper format. So what are the common techniques for reviewing or reading these policies here? Nothing but recording of policies. Some recordings may be done. You can see some videos to understand the policies. And the language, whatever language you are using, it is English or whether it is in a mother tongue language, other languages are using to understand the policies here. Some standard language, some standard format should be there to understand, to review the policies here. Next one is third one, understanding. Understanding, or even also called as a comprehension. So what are the document you have provided to the employees? Nothing but organization must be able to demonstrate that employee has understood the requirements and content of the policies here. So how to understand these policies in the organization by the employees? Yeah, they have some techniques, like they can conduct some quizzes and can do some assessments also to the employees to understand these policies. Next one is first one is dissemination. Second one is a review. Third one is understandable. Fourth one is agreement. After understanding these policies, organization must be able to compile with policy through active. If you are not following the policies of your organization, some laws may be applicable for the employees. Some act may be applicable. So techniques are there for this agreement. Just log on to your business, log on the banners here, keeping some banners, log on banners. In that you can specify what is the action you are giving to the employees. Log on banners, we are keeping some banners if we are not following the policies here. What type of law is applicable? You can take acknowledgement agreement, a signed document, some signed document. If not following the signed document, it can be done by the employee to upper management. Agreement is maintained from the employee to the upper management here. You should follow the policies here of the organization. So after completion of a BTech, you go for one organization. You can see different policies in different organizations here. So this policy should be followed. You want to sign some document, agreement document to follow these policies here. Last one is enforcement, uniform enforcement. So what is this uniform enforcement? So organization must able to demonstrate that policy has been uniformly enforced regardless of the employee status or assessment here. So these are the policies to be more effective to satisfy the employees. They want to follow the distribution, review, understandable agreement and enforcement. So security policies are defined three types of security policies according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology. One is enterprise information security policy. Next one is a issue specific security policy. Third one is the system specific security policy. So we'll go one by one. Three types of security policies. First one is the enterprise information security policy. It is also called as a information security policy. It is also called as a information security policy or IT security policy. Also called as a general security policy. Any name you can specify. Enterprise information security policy is also called as a information security policy or information technology security policy or general security policy, which is based on directly involved in organization mission, directly involved in mission, vision, and direction. You can also see in your organization there is some mission, vision for your organization. It sets some strategic directions here. Scope, it defines some scope and tune for the security efforts within the organization. It defines some direction, strategic direction of your security policy, define some scope, some security efforts within the organization. You can also call it as a executive level document. Executive level document. Which is drafted by the CIO, Chief Information Security Officer, which is prepared by the Chief Information Security Officer of an organization. This document is up to total 10 pages, you can say. Document is up to 2 to 10 pages long, which is focused mainly on security of IT, information security in the organization environment. So according to the NIS, two principles are involved in the ES Enterprise Information Security Policy. One is a general agreement to ensure meeting requirements to establish a program and responsibilities assigned to various organization components here. One is established program and responsibilities assigned within the various organizational components, and use of specified penalties and disciplinary action. If you have not followed these policies, they can implement some penalties and perform some disciplinary action on the employees here. So there are some components. We can see some components of enterprise information security policies here. Can also called as a elements. Components are elements. So what are the use of components? Generally, to an overview of corporate philosophy of security here. Fully articulated responsibilities for security that are shared by all the members of organization, that is employees, contractors, consultants, partners, and visitors. Fully articulated responsibilities for the security that are unique to each role within the organization. So we have some components of or elements of enterprise information security policy. One is statement of purpose. Statement of purpose. So statement of this document generally contains identify elements of good information security policies. This document will contain or identify elements of good information security policies here. It also contains explain the needs of information security. Specify various categories of information security. Identify the information security responsibilities and roles. Identify the appropriate levels of security through standards and guidelines here. Next one, information security elements. So this section will lay out security definitions to clarify on information security policies here. Third one is the need of information security. Need of information security. So need of information security specifies importance of information security policy in the organizations to protect information regarding the customers, employees, and employees' data. So with need of information security. Next component, next element. Defines IS roles, information security roles, and responsibilities here. Which defines the structure of the policies, and it also defines designed to support the information security within the organization. Next, fifth one, reference to other information standards. And guidelines. So specify some list of standards for enterprise information security policies here, which are influenced by the policy document. It also includes some relevant laws if the employee is not following these policies here. Okay. Next, coming to the issue-specific security policies. So, in organization, generally different technologies, different processes are used to perform their work. So, employees need some instructions, some guidelines to use these policies effectively here. So this issue-specific security policy, generally called as a ISSP, okay, which indicate a specific area of technology. Indicate the specific area of technology. That is, addresses the specific area of technology used by the organization people. And it also needs latest developments and updates for the technology. Whatever technology you are using in the organization, it needs frequent updates, latest developments, and updates for your technology. It focuses mainly on the organization positions on specific issues here. So different approaches, different types of techniques are involved to create and manage this issue-specific security policies here. So there are three techniques are used generally. One is the create a number of independent ISSP documents here. Create a number of independent issue-specific security policy documents for each and every issue here, you can say. And create a single and simple ISP information issue-specific security policy document which include all the issues. Next, create a modular issue-specific security policy document that distinct the different policies when created and administrate the issues here. What are the issues you have in the organization? Okay. So we also have some components, some elements in the issue specific policies here. So what are the components? One is the statement of policy again. Authorize access and usage of equipment. What are the equipment you are using in your organization? You should have some access permissions here. You want to follow some policies to access your equipment in the organization. We are giving some restrictions to some technologies, some equipments in the organization. Prohibited use of equipment. Some equipments cannot be used by the employees. Systems management. If you don't follow these policies, violations of policies, if you are violating the policies, policy review and modifications. So upper management take the responsibility for modification of policies and conduct some reviews to the organization people. Limitations of liability. So these are some specific elements of issue specific security policies here. Last one, third one, system specific security policies here. System specific policies frequently function according to the procedures which are used with when the system are going to configure and maintain. Configuring or maintaining the systems. You want to configure the systems here. There are two types of system specific policies. One is the managerial guidance system specific policy. One is the technical specifications system specific policy here. So what is a managerial guidance system specific policy? So it is created by the upper management. Okay. Main aim of this managerial guidance to implementation and configuration of the technology. Whatever technology you are using in the organization, you want to implement, you want to configure this technology here. And also employees working behavior in the firm. So managerial guidance, which is created by the upper management to the employees here, and guiding the implementation and configuring of the particular technology, how to configure, how to use the technology in the organization. Next, coming to the technical specifications, system specific policies. They are technical policies. You can also call as a technical policies. A set of configuration to implement management policies here. Technical policies also called as a technical policies. A set of configuration to implement the managerial policies here. Again, it divided into subcategories, subgroups here. One is the access. ACL stands for access control list. Access control list. ACS stands for the access control list. ACL stands for access control list. Which consists of some list, metrics, and some capability tables, you can say. which provide rights and benefits to the user for a specific system. Access control list provides some access to the particular rights, you can say, rights to the user, or computer time duration, even for a particular file also. Next one is the configuration rules policies, subgroups. Configuration rules policies is nothing but specific configurations, you can say, specific configuration codes which are entered into the security system. Main objective of this configuration security policies is guide the user. You're guiding the user how to use the technology, how to use the execution of the system. Guidance, guide the user for execution of the system, execution of technology. Okay. So these are three important policies you want to understand. One is a system specific policy. Issue specific security policy and enterprise influence security policy.